Sumner County Media Days at Main Street Preps Northcentral Sports Regional Editor Blaine Kellar here, sports editor of all three of our Sumner County papers, the Gallatin News, Hendersonville Standard, and Portland Sun, as well as Main Street Nashville. Excited to continue our Sumner County Media Days here at Birdie Bros in Hendersonville. We are brought to you by K1 Speed, Volunteer Fence, The Farmer's Bake, and Steve Schrum Simply Home Realty. Again, at Birdie Bros here from 4 to 8:30. Yesterday's segment included Station Camp, White House, and Liberty Creek. Today, right on time, is new JPII football coach Roc Batten here to headline the Knights section of Sumner County Media Days. Coach Batten, I'm sure it's been a busy couple of months for you, and even so, I'm sure you're excited to get started with your first season at JPII.
Yes. First off, thanks for having us and our school and our team and our players on. But no, it's been a crazy first couple months. But I say that in a good way. Coming in late in spring and really trying to get an understanding of the school, the culture. More importantly, understand the kids and who we have on campus, and meet faculty and families, and really start to get going with our football program and putting our stamp on who we are as a JPII football program and school. And so it's been crazy, but it's been great. Our young men have responded really well to our coaching and our teaching. And the big thing for us is we're trying to build relationships, because it's more than ball. And I truly believe that when kids trust you and they know you care about them more than just football or whatever it may be, and care about them more than that in life, you're gonna get their max ability,
right?
And then we get to know each other as well. So it's been crazy, but it's been a great start to our summer so far.
You were hired in January, taking over for former coach Brian Sneed, hired from Savannah Country Day School. A little bit of overlap there. Had to work your way back from Georgia to Tennessee. For those that weren't maybe as familiar with the process that got you kind of back in the school building and started, how did that timeline unfold?
Yeah, I was in Savannah this past season. My first time actually in 30 years not being in Nashville as a player, a coach, or administrator, and definitely not in Tennessee high school football. So I was excited first off to return, and very thankful for Dr. Eric Chittle and administration for giving me this great opportunity that we have. And so when I returned back from Georgia, it was all about just literally diving in, and I mean, and it was great because I was very fortunate to have this very unique situation of being the head coach for the West All-Star team in the wintertime. So it was great to come back, just see a bunch of Tennessee coaches, like I said, been around. But getting this opportunity to come back from that, I was humbled and honored. And I've always looked at JPII as a great foundation, great school, a great place, high academics, on the northern side of town, faith-based, Christ Center, and with good families. And so I was really excited and really intrigued and thankful. And then when I arrived on campus, it was all about connecting with faculty, connecting with players, connecting with students, period, and just getting people to know me and know who I am, and me getting to know them, and starting to put together a staff at that point. And so, like I said, I'm just thrilled to be back, but more importantly, I'm more excited just to be at JPII, because we have amazing administration, but more importantly, amazing faculty, but amazing kids that I get to coach every day.
Did you miss being in Middle Tennessee? How different was that the 1 year you were away?
Yeah, I did miss it. And Middle Tennessee is definitely different than, when people think of Georgia, a lot of people your initial goes to Atlanta, right? Yeah. And Savannah's not Atlanta. It's a small area. It's on the coast. It is hot as all get out. It is different. And it's hot here, don't get me wrong, but It's just a different heat. And the bugs and gnats are everywhere. And so, but no, I miss Middle Tennessee. Our foundation's here. My wife, her parents are here. A lot of our friends and family are here. And I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, but I've been in Tennessee longer than I lived there. I've been here over 30 years, and so this is home for me. And so, yes, I miss Middle Tennessee. I miss Tennessee football. And Georgia was great, and Savannah, but it's just different. It's not Nashville. It's not Middle Tennessee, and it's not Tennessee football. And the familiarity with it, and the connections and people and the communities, and so that made it much easier transition for me. The double moving was an exciting moving to Savannah, then picking up my family, moving back. But I was so glad to move back. But and I have kids, I have kids that all their friends are here too, and so that was exciting part to be back.
You mentioned you've really spent the bulk of your career, a lot of your life, in Middle Tennessee, and in Middle Tennessee private school football too.
Yes.
This is something you're really familiar with
Yeah.
your stops at BGA and Ensworth. Is it kind of the same familiarity coming back to coach maybe at a familiar level?
Yeah, it is. No, it is. I've been fortunate to be at some really great places, and it's all been private school for me from my college days coming into the high school ranks. And Division II, you have AAA, you have AA, you have single A.
Right.
Division II football is great football. Outstanding players, outstanding coaches, outstanding schools. And so coming back in this situation, being back in the middle division, Division II AA for football, very familiar with that. All my time when I was at BGA, we were in the middle division. So I'm very familiar with that. I've coached at the AAA division for my time at BGA and when I was at NBA and also at Ensworth. But more importantly, understanding what Division II looks like. It's unique in itself because the families, the kids, the communities, coaching is great, the talent is high, and so it made it really comfortable. Like this was not a unfamiliar territory like when I went to Georgia. All that was unfamiliar territory. Who, what, how it works, rules. It's different. So it was definitely a comfort level, and being very familiar with the league, how it works. I know all the coaches in this league from not only the middle region, but even from the west and the east, and so very comfortable there. And now it's just really getting our program just continue to move in the right direction with the kids and the families that we have.
Makes game planning probably a little bit easier too. A lot less time having to figure out what coach does what, like maybe down in Georgia. Talking with JPII football coach Roc Batten on our second day of Sumner County Media Days. You're the new football coach for the Knights. You also have an expanded athletic director's role. How involved are you kind of with the whole process of athletics at JPII now?
Yeah, so I'm in this role as a senior athletic administrator for strategic development, which means I'm overseeing the big picture vision of our entire athletic department. I have an amazing team working with David Ewell, who is over our mission and integration in middle school, and Amanda Sneller, who's new, who will be over operations and athletics and kind of our high school lead, and then Jamal Stewart, who's our offensive coordinator for football, who will be an associate AD. So it's a new structure, a new setup. But I do think for the things that we're trying to move forward with athletically, with just organization, our athletic department, communication, support. I do think is a great, really, system and setup that we have, because I'm fortunate to have some amazing people I work with, and we're working as a team. I'm just a piece in a wheel, but really to set the overall vision for our athletic department direction, of course, with the leadership and vision of our school and the mission of our school as the center of it, and more importantly, the students at the center of everything we do, all of our decisions, and our faith as a part of that, a big part of that for our school and what's best for our students.
In regards to the people aspect in developing a staff, your first staff at JPII, did a great job in adding someone like Jamal Stewart, very talented offensive mind, as your offensive coordinator, Chad Broderick, who you had experience coaching against while at Ensworth, and he was at Father Ryan, your defensive coordinator. Talk about those two hires you were able to make and how else you completed your first staff here at JPII.
No, I was extremely fortunate. Those two men alone, just they're both been head coaches. So anytime you're a head coach, anytime you can have other head coaches on your staff to continue to push the holistic vision and plan of the program, it's priceless. I basically have a head coach on offense and head coach on defense, and there's not a value you can put to that. But also, these are just great. Not only just ball in itself and what they know and their experience, they're great men of high character and integrity, and they're going to hold our kids accountable. They're going to love on them. They're going to coach them. They're going to coach them hard, but also in the hallways. boys as well. And so to have your young man and your student being around those two individuals among the many other coaches I have, but those two guys are in a major leadership role for us is a huge win for me and our school, more importantly our students and our players. But they bring so much to the table in terms of just not only just offensively and defensively, but just the way they can impact young people, where they can lead young people, the way they get kids to buy in to things that they're doing. And you're seeing that this summer as we're transitioning and them just buying into what we're trying to do in all phases of the game right now. And like I said, it's more than ball, and they make sure that happens.
Who else have you added to that stuff?
Yeah, I have. I'm already there. Coach Ryan Moshak, who's our coach's outside linebacker. He was on the staff last year.
Yeah.
But also my good friend Philip Montgomery, who's one of the legend offensive line coaches in Middle Tennessee. He's been at some great places. Was with me at Innsworth for a while. He was already here as well, and his coach. Over 100 guys who go on and play college football, a lot of guys who played in the NFL. So having him as the anchor for offensive line as well is awesome. Ben Zoller, who's our quarterback coach, who was with me at Innsworth and has coached college ball as well. Has coached some really good quarterbacks that we've had over time. Was a former college quarterback. Another guy on offense, Quinn Patton, who's a receivers coach, who's trained Golden Tate. He played in NFL.
Wow.
He's actually a Nashville guy. Went to Stratford Laverne, but also has a lot of records at Louisiana Tech and played for the 49ers as well. So he's coaching our receivers. And then Josh Southall, who was with Coach Stewart at Centennial, will help with our tight ends and offensive line, who's has done a great job as well. And also help with our running backs. And on defense, we have Austin Riker, who's going to coach D-line with Coach Odysseus, who's also coached some college guys, and Coach Austin also, who came from Michigan, down to coach with us and moved here this off season. And then Dontel Watkins, who played at Utah State, was with me a little bit at BGA, has been coaching here locally as well, and has been very fortunate to coach some really good guys. So I have amazing staff, amazing guys with amazing background, but also they love kids, and like I said, they coach them hard and push them. And build relationships with them, but they're also skilled at in terms of just ball. They're skilled football coaches, but they're even better people. So that's and also some of our middle school things. But all this is all we're a 6th through 12th grade program, and so we have this program director model where we want our middle school to model it, and so we just got really good people around our young men all the time.
We're going to speak on that model in a second and what it looks like now that what you're trying to build at JPII. But I had to cling on to that Golden Tate nugget a second. Because yesterday he was at JPII for his annual Tate Athletic Skills Clinic. Yeah. And I thought you being somebody from Detroit, maybe was that your first time meeting him?
That actually no. Fortunately and unfortunately, when I was a young coach at Innsworth a long time ago, and I had to remind Golden of this, he was maybe I think a young sophomore at the time, and we went over to scrimmage them in early summer or something like that. I think it was like the second scrimmage. And at the time, I was the D coordinator. I had no clue who he was.
You learned pretty quickly.
I learned very quickly when he received them. I'm going, who is this guy? And we were a solid team that year, but this guy was just making plays all over the field. Yeah. And that was my first introduction to who Golden Tate was. And then I watched his unbelievable career, 11 years in NFL, obviously a Hendersonville native and an alumni. I'm being a Detroit guy. He's one of my dad's all-time favorite players in Detroit. And I mean, some of his best, some of his greatest times was in Detroit when he made the Pro Bowl. But you talking about another person who's amazing. He's a great person beyond ball. And he did having his camp, it was an honor. We had over 80, 90 kids. It was hot out there. But it was a great event and something that we'll continue to do. He's a great model of a JP2 student, just high character, outstanding student. multi-sport athlete. Some people do not remember he was drafted also as
baseball.
a baseball
Yeah.
twice. And so he's the great example. But he and his family were there, and it was a great day on our campus yesterday.
Talking with new JP2 coach Roc Batten is part of our second day of Sumner County Media Days. Come check us out. Birdie Bros in Hendersonville. We're brought to you by K1 Speed, Volunteer Fence, the Farmers Bank, and Steve Schrum Simply Home Real Estate. Coach Batten, I asked you a little bit about this after you were hired. Now I'm sure you've got a clearer picture as to what this team's going to look like offensively, defensively. You've assessed your personnel a little bit. You have a staff around you.
Yeah.
Talk to us about how things might look a little different on the field at JP2.
Well, all we talk about now is like, look, guys, we're moving forward. Everything's forward thinking. Everything's all about team. All about us being dialed into the things that we're doing. We got a great group of young men, and we've talked about this multiple times as a staff. Having a staff that comes from a variety of places, public and private. One thing that we see really quickly, they're eager, they're hungry to be good, and try to figure out how we turn to being good to great. And so right now, it's all about being a disciplined team, being a physical team, being fundamentally sound, right, and being able to execute, and then be able to move on to the next play and play the game the right way, and play the game with integrity, but be physical, fly around the ball, have fun doing it. This is I have to continue to remind our young men that when you get in high school ball, and obviously even when you get in college, go back to why what's your why you play football, right? A lot of you guys have played football because your friendships that you have, you want to play with your buddies. Some people, you just love the game, and we want them to have fun within the context of the things that we're doing. And this is a fun game, but we also want you to respect the game. So we're dialing in every day and trying to be turn this group into being really good in all three phases, and then move that to great. And it's a day-by-day process. All you have is the moment that you have right now, and in terms of the practices, the weight room, the workout, and the conditions. How can you be the best version of yourself in each of those opportunities? We keep saying right now, can we put 4 phases together? A workout, a conditioning, a meeting, and a practice. Yeah. Can we put all those things together to have a great first day? And then can we back that up with another day behind it? So literally, we're breaking it down into phases for us, and taking it step by step each week.
There are new faces on that coaching staff, new faces on the field for you guys too. We'll start with your son, Isaiah. Talk about that quarterback competition as a whole, where Isaiah may be in that, and how he's kind of taken on to another new school for him. Yeah,
he's had a lot of changes, over the last few years, and moving to Savannah, and then moving back to Nashville, Middle Tennessee, and it's it's part of the process. It's not a traditional way of you hope to be at a school for 4 years in high school, and you build your friendships and relationships. But I think it says a lot about our community. I've said this to many people in our community. The students, the faculty embrace him and my daughter immediately. You cannot tell they're new students. So he took that all on. And at the quarterback spot, Isaiah, we have Brayton Dyer, who's a rising junior, and then we have a freshman, PJ. And so Isaiah's walking into the season as the guys we come out of spring, and he's going to be the guy. But we have those 2 other guys getting better every day. And what we're challenging Isaiah with is to lead, to set the tone, to set the tempo in everything we do, and that's on and off the field, and be the instructor of everything we do offensively. I mean, Coach Jamal gives him a lot of flexibility in what we do to make some decisions, and it's you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be efficient. And so protecting the football and taking what the defense gives you. We had a great day of 7-on-7 today against 2 teams, and so and he's used to this. He's been in these situations where he has to compete, start things new, and I always tell kids like that. Sometimes the bad things like that is good for you because eventually you'll go on to college, you'll be new friends, no matter if it's playing ball or not. You have to connect with people, and so he's had to experience a little bit of that, which is allowed him to mature and grow up a little bit.
Does he have any kind of familiarity with the offense that Coach Stewart has brought in? Is it similar to things that you've run in the past at Ensworth?
Well, that's the great thing about it is that he's been, you can say, technically in 3 offensive systems, right? And you've been forced to learn a playbook. But the great thing for quarterbacks is what's my foundation? You know, what am I reading? What am I keying? You know, in terms of offensive scheme. But it's very similar to things we did in Savannah. It's very similar to some things we did here at Ensworth. So, you know, it's so many ways you can skin a cat, right? And so, and then it's based off our skill set. What can we do well to move the ball, to get first downs, and ultimately to score points? And so, a lot of that becomes based on our skill set, and then what can we take advantage of against the defense and create mismatches? Because that's offense. How do you create mismatches and put the defense in compromising situations? And so, you know, he's been able to pick it up really well, and you know, and we have some smart kids. I mean, we're throwing a lot at them right now, and they're picking it up really well, and we're going to keep building off of that.
Another guy we're going to talk to here in a little bit, Hudson Curley, likely his top target. You know, I don't want to say coming back because they didn't get to play last year, but Hudson was a deep threat for this JPII offense a year ago. What have you been able to assess from his skill set coming in, and how have you kind of made the most of it?
No, Hudson is an extremely talented football player. Doesn't say a ton, but he's just your consistent worker in terms of just on the field, weight room, all those things. Unbelievable route runner. Ball's close. He's gonna get his hands on. He's gonna catch it. I mean, I watched his film before as I was accepting the job, and you see him making big plays all over the field for us, which is really exciting. But also, he's your ultimate competitor, man. You look at him on the lacrosse field, on the basketball court. He's a 3-sport guy. He's tough. He's physical. He doesn't back down, but he's an unbelievable receiver, and it's going to be a huge target for us offensively. And we feel like we got some guys also that can help with that. You know, you can spread the ball out, but Hudson going to have a major impact on the things that we do offensively, trust me.
In the running game, I know you like to run the football. Most football coaches around here do, all of these guys are new to you. So how did you kind of see the room coming in, and have there been any front runners to kind of take that lead spot?
Yeah, right now we have a sophomore running back who's really stepped up a little bit. Marcus Cantrell, who's a talented individual, played a little bit last year in spots and shots for them last year, and you know, he'll be asked to take on a big load. Also, Timothy Curtis, who's a junior, who's a talented running back, will also play some defense. And then we have some other kids, Jordan, who's another one, and there's other guys that we may put at some running back in situations based on what we're doing. But right now, you know, Marcus is kind of take the early. Now, we don't have pads on right now. It's short and shorts. Short and shirts. And so we'll see as we progress into getting some pads. But the big piece is, you know, we're going to find creative ways to get guys to football. I think that's one of the many strengths of Jamal Stewart as a play caller. He's very creative in what we do. But we're going to be able to do both, run the ball and try to move the ball vertically as well.
You were formerly at Ensworth before you went to Savannah Country Day School. And since you've taken the job at JPII, at least 2 Ensworth players have come over to this night's team with the intention of, you know, academics and athletics. Sam Bowers, Pierce Thigpen, how will those guys kind of play into this team as well?
Yeah, those guys have come over and they transferred for different reasons. Nothing really to do with the athletic piece, just different reasons. But both are talented guys. You know, Pierce plays some tight end and defensive end, and Sam, of course, plays some receiver and safety as well. And both are talented kids, but they're just great young men in itself, both of those young men. So really fortunate to have those guys here, and you know, coached them several years ago at Ensworth. But yeah, we're excited about them. We're excited, our community and school, we're excited about them more so just who they are as young people, you know. And like I said, any kid that's, like I said, my kids are a minimal example of it. Just I've watched our players, our students embrace anybody's new, no matter if there's a new upperclassman kid or a younger kid coming in as a freshman. Like, they're embracing these guys and make them feel like they've been a part of this community for years. And I think that says a lot about our team, but also more importantly, says a lot about our school and who we are. So I'm excited.
Defensively, what are you guys trying to embody? I think Pierce and Sam will be kind of factors on that defensive side as well. With Coach Broderick, what are you trying to emphasize on that?
Well, defensively, as a team, we're going to be physical. And the great thing about Coach Broderick, he and I think a lot. I'm a defensive guy, and we've talked ball several years, and just being fundamentally sound in terms of the way we line up, making calls, but also be great communicators and be able to fly to the football and swarm the ball. And really limit the big plays. I think a lot of things will start. I mean, obviously D-line, but we got a guy in the middle, Kyron Coleman, who is the heart of our defense and can do so many things for us defensively. But you'll see him find creative ways to get him the ball on offense sometimes too. But he's the heart of our defense and really the center and the guy who is the commander of that defense. And he's had an amazing time here. Last year, some big plays, and we're asking a lot of him in a lot of ways. And I mean, when you talk about a defensive guy, he's a dude. But also, we got Jarius Jones on the defensive line, who is a force on the defensive line, and Carter Taylor, who these are two other seniors who will be great forces on our defensive line, who are leaders on our team. But those guys, but when you look at our defense, the heart and the center of it, as our Mike Backer, is going to be Kyron, who's going to set the tone for us. And if we can do anything like Kyron, which is being physical, fly around, have fun, he will set that tone for us, and other guys will follow suit. So,
a couple more questions for you, Coach, then we'll get you out of here. Taking a look at the schedule, a couple of reunions on there. First off, in October, you get an opportunity to play BGA, school you had a lot of success at.
Right.
Do you have any connections still at that school that you're maybe looking forward to seeing again, or maybe just seeing that blue and white? I mean, is that going to be a special one for you?
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody over there still. I mean, the coaching staff has changed, but as far as administration and athletic director and head of school, I know all those guys. Great people, great school, talented, really talented team, and a lot of talented players on there. That'll be its own deal in October. It's so long to get there. Right now, I know.
Hard to ask that question.
Yeah,
in
no question. But I know how it gets. It's a former school that I coached at and had a lot of good things happen in terms of the players and the success we had there. It'll be its own thing in October, but for us, it's worrying about us and worrying about that first one against Webb, and even keeping us dialed in, not even to look forward to, not look even past that to the Bishop's Cup and things like that. We want to stay, like I was just saying, with each moment. We want to stay dialed in and focused one at a time. We know you see the schedule, you know what's ahead, right? But the more you stay focused and dialed in and one on you as a team and how you daily get better, and then your first opponent, and preparing, from these practices to the scrimmages that we have, getting ready for that first opportunity, and then how we keep climbing, getting a little bit better every week after that. So
another one to maybe look out for, I think it's right after that, maybe a couple weeks somewhere in there. JPII going up against Franklin Road Academy. Former JPII quarterback Hudson Holman transferred there. Also coached by former JPII coach Justin Geisinger. Your region schedule is going to be a tough one, even though it looks a little bit different than what it previously did at JPII.
Yeah, no, it's a tough region. It's a lot of talented teams, a lot of talented players in this region alone. Not only just Division II AA, and a lot of familiar faces, right?
Yeah.
For me, I was coaching at Vanderbilt when Justin was a player at Vanderbilt, and so says how old I'm getting. But no, it's a tough league, and each week, from our conference to our region games, it's going to be a battle, and we have to mentally and physically prepare our young men to endure that. For 11 weeks once we get rolling to have that first part of the season to get us to catapult into the playoffs. And so all those opportunities will be exciting. When we go play FRA, BGA, our entire league, Grace and Good Pasture, all these teams are and Davidson, all these teams are talented with amazing coaches. And so that's the fun thing about playing in Division II. AA. You're gonna have to bring it every week. When you get guys injured, the next guy's got to be prepared to step up because you're gonna see very well coached teams, physical teams, and teams with a lot of talent.
One more for you, Coach Batten. We'll let you go here on Sumner County Media Days. You just said it there. Play for 11 weeks, and then catapult into that next step.
Yeah.
Is that the goal in year one, to make a playoff appearance with this team?
Yeah, our seniors, we were at my house and they set goals for the year, and they talked about that, about putting ourselves in a playoff position, and how can we control our destiny, even trying to how do we get ourselves in a position that we can host a playoff game. Those kind of things is it's kind of some of those things that we want to get to, and the only way you do that is step by step, getting better every day, getting better every opportunity that you have, and working your tail off and maxing out at every opportunity that you have as well.
Coach Roc Batten joining us for the first section of JP2's Sumner County Football Media Days. Coach Batten, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to catching up with your team and continuing to do so. On the other side of this break, we'll have quarterback Isaiah Batten, Hudson Curley, the receiver, Kyron Coleman as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on Sumner County Media Days.
At the Farmers Bank, nothing means more to us than helping our customers grow. We take pride in supporting our neighbors, creating customized solutions, and building strong communities, one relationship at a time. It's simple. We're just local people making local decisions. We're as community gets. We'd love to be part of your success. Visit any of our non-Middle Tennessee locations or visit us online to get started. The Farmers Bank, improving lives in the markets we serve.
The best indoor go-kart racing experience is here in Nashville, Tennessee. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is a world-class entertainment venue that is designed to help keep you entertained and engaged whether you're on or off the track. If you want to experience indoor karting yourself, are interested in hosting a fun party for a friend or loved one, or would like to plan a corporate function, we'll be here to help. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is open 7 days a week. Visit k1speed.com/Nashville for more details. K1 Speed Nashville is located at 404 Davidson Street, Nashville, Tennessee. Call 615-242-3275 or visit k1speed.com/Nashville. K1 Speed Nashville, the best and fastest indoor go-kart racing in Nashville.
Thank you to our sponsors for Sumner County Media Day, K1 Speed, the Farmers Bank, Volunteer Fence, Steve Schrum, Simply Home, Real Estate, and our host sponsor, Birdie Bros, Chris Jones here, big part in getting us a home for Sumner County Media Days. We thank you so much for having us here. And,
our pleasure.
Tell us about Birdie Bros.
Yeah, so we had this crazy wild idea, my business partner and I, a couple years ago, to bring indoor golf and a sports bar concept kind of together. I've lived in Hendersonville, since 1994, and realized that there's not a lot to do up here, and so we decided to change that and bring a little bit of. Unfortunately, people characterize it as, it's Top Golf, but inside, and that's kind of what we've ran with for a little bit. But we're a sports bar at heart, first and foremost. And then we've got 7 indoor golf simulators that you can come and enjoy as much as you want, whether it's trying to hone in your golf skills or just a night out and looking for some entertainment with your kids or anything in between. So
can release some stress, knocking some balls down too. Huh?
Absolutely.
I've heard great things about the menu too. Our photographer John Decker said he got an ice cream cookie a little ago, and
that little cookie skillet.
The burger was really good. Tell us about what we've got on the menu.
Yeah, so we've got we actually just redid our menu about 30 days ago. So the burger that he was talking about is actually one of our most popular. It's an American Wagyu burger. It's a big, massive half-pound burger that people really love and enjoy. But yeah, we characterize our menu as an elevated sports bar feel. So there's lots of sports bars, whether it's Buffalo Wild Wings or others in the area. But we kind of go above and beyond with our scratch kitchen in the back and making sure that we're homemaking sauces. We're trying to step out of the traditional as much as possible to give people a different experience. So we're here for that, and hopefully people will come by and give us a try. A lot of people also are very timid. They think that, Birdie Bros, and they hear the name and they go, oh, it's just golf. And it's like, guys, you can come and have a great meal. You can come and have lunch. We've got lots of specials throughout the week, so would love to see if we can have anybody out and see what their thoughts are, get some feedback.
Oh, he's making me hungry with this menu. Be sure to check out Birdie Bros all throughout this week for Sumner County Media Days here in Indian Lake. A great location, great place for some golf, some food, some drinks. We'll be here all week, but even beyond that, be sure to check out Birdie Bros. Thank you, Chris.
Awesome, appreciate it.
What do you look for when searching for a realtor? Experience? Steve Schrum with Simply Home has been a realtor in Sumner County for 30 years. Number of houses sold? Steve Schrum with Simply Home has sold over 1,000 homes. Leadership in the field? Steve Schrum with Simply Home, president of the Sumner Realtors in 2004 and 2018. Awards? Steve Schrum with Simply Home 2006, 2016 Realtor of the Year for Sumner Realtors. What do the clients say? Steve Schrum with Simply Home is knowledgeable, professional, and kind with a super work ethic. Steve Schrum with Simply Home sells 99% of his homes quickly and for top dollar, and communicates from the beginning to the end of the process. Your homework is now done. Steve Schrum with Simply Home is the realtor for the job. Call Steve Schrum with Simply Home today at 615-473-6633. Visit Steve at steveschrum.com or stop by and say hello at 118 Saundersville Road, Suite 150, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075.
Volunteer Fence is your one-stop shop for all your fencing needs. If you need assistance with residential, commercial, gates, and handrails, trust the company with over 45 years of fencing experience, Volunteer Fence, located in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Volunteer Fence services customers in Middle Tennessee, including Hendersonville, Gallatin, Lebanon, White House, Smyrna, Nashville, Springfield, Brentwood, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, and the surrounding areas. Call Volunteer Fence at 615-822-6530 for a free estimate or visit www.volunteerfencellc.com.
Welcome back to Sumner County Media Days, brought to you by Birdie Bros here in Hendersonville. We're here from 4 to 8:30 today and tomorrow. We were here yesterday in case you missed us. Continuing our segment with JPII football. I've got linebacker Kyron Coleman to my left, to my right, new quarterback Isaiah Batten, as well as receiver Hudson Curley. Let me start with Hudson here and we'll kind of work our way around. Hudson, you had a great year last year. Double-digit touchdowns, if I'm remembering right. You and Jackson Vonderhaar made a really nice deep threat duo.
Yes, sir.
Since having this new staff here, Coach Stewart, Coach Batten, how have they kind of changed things when it comes to your route tree a little bit? And what's it been like kind of creating chemistry with Isaiah?
So they came in, we have a new offense, and I really like it a lot because it's not you have to learn the route, you have to learn the whole concept. You can play within the offense and get not only yourself open, but your teammates open. And then playing with Isaiah, he's been a great quarterback. I mean, he's got a great arm, and he can just let it fly, which is awesome.
Maybe on the other side of that, Isaiah, talk a little bit about getting to know Hudson and then maybe some of your other options throughout the spring.
Yeah, no, it's been great getting to know Hudson and just building chemistry all season long, especially with new transfers and other receivers as well, and it's been a great experience for sure.
For you, has it been hard at all? I mean, such is the life of being a coach's kid, but you were at Ensworth, then Savannah Country Day School, a different state a year ago.
Yeah.
Now you're back at your third school in 3 years. Has that been hard for you?
Yeah, it's been a little tough, just a lot of change and within like the span of a year, but coming to JP2 is like really easy to adjust, and just like I appreciate the guys here for making that so easy, but it was hard at first, but it's definitely gotten easier for sure.
How have they welcomed you, and how much better is it for you being back in the area, at least, that you're familiar with?
Just by like hanging out outside of school, like I came in February, and so just building chemistry then, and it's a whole lot being better back in Nashville and not in Georgia anymore for sure.
No offense to Georgia there.
Yeah.
Let's roll over to Kyron. You had a great season last year at linebacker for this team, and I think you got, in getting Coach Batten to come on, and then Coach Chad Broderick, the defensive coordinator, you had a lot of defensive experience to learn from. What have you kind of gained from having those two new coaches?
I feel like I've gained a lot. I've learned a lot of different techniques on how to play my position and how to be a team player. How to involve my players also, not only worrying about my job on the field, but knowing that my teammates also have my back, and just knowing that I can count on my guys. So that's a big thing that they brought to the table when they came into our program.
Coach Batten said a lot is going to be relied on you defensively. How do you kind of take that on? How do you kind of process that here in July?
I take it on as a big role, but I know what I'm capable of. I know what my teammates are capable of. I feel like we can get the job done, and as long as we trust our coaches, trust each other, I feel like we can get the job done.
And what does that mean? The bigger role, is that going to be communicating organizing the defense a little bit more? Do you know how much more of an expanded role you're going to have and what that might mean?
I feel like communication will be a big role that I will have to fill. I feel like that is a huge part of any defense, really, and one part that we're looking to improve and work on. So I feel like communication is a big role that we need to, work on and fill.
I'll go around the table here, ask all three of you guys this, if you could answer each. The end of our interview with Coach Batten, you seniors had a time to set goals for the season, and not only did you want to make a playoff game in your first year, thoughts of hosting a playoff game. What made you feel like that could be an attainable goal for this first season with Coach Batten and this staff?
So I think that it's obtainable for us because honestly we want that playoff game, we want that home game, because the more home games the better, because we're comfortable there, but also it's just a great environment that we want to be in and continue playing, especially in the postseason.
Yes, sir, I agree. I feel like that's like the bare minimum of what we're shooting for. We're shooting for much more than that, and so, but getting a home playoff game to start with will be much easier for our road in the playoffs, I feel like.
Kyron, anything to add to that?
No.
Talking with Kyron Coleman, Isaiah Batten, and Hudson Curley here on Sumner County Media Days. As I said, we're brought to you by Birdie Bros here in Hendersonville. Our sponsors are Volunteer Fence, K1 Speed, Steve Schrum, Simply Home Real Estate, as well as the Farmers Bank. Be sure to check them out. It's a small senior class, 8 as a whole, but how are you guys taking up the mantle of that leadership, trying to be a strong leadership class despite being small in number? Start with Kyron on that.
Well, we take it on as a big role also, and we also, Coach Roc believes in that our juniors and seniors are also our leaders of the team, so we believe that not only our senior class are the leaders of the team, we believe that our juniors also step up and help, with the numbers, with our senior class being so low, they also are a voice of the team, and all of our upperclassmen, take part in that role of being leaders.
Sure. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I agree with Kyron. Like, everybody can be a leader, not just juniors, but like sophomores and freshmen. Like, we need more people to step up, but that starts with us seniors for sure.
So our seniors, I think, it's a small class, but I would say we're the closest I've seen in a while. I've been around for 4 years, and I think this is the closest senior class I've seen, and I've been seen and played with, and I think we're just going to keep doing that, keep leading by not only vocally but also by example.
Hate to keep ping-ponging here, but I'm going across to Kyron and then coming back this way. Kyron, you picked up a couple of offers your junior year. At the end of that, a couple of FCS offers, camped at some bigger schools. Fill us in on what your recruitment looks like right now.
Right now, I'm still going to some camps right now, and I've had coaches that that I've been talking to more than others, and right now I just feel like I don't really know what a decision looks like for me right now, but there is some schools that I like more than others, Austin Peay being one of them.
Okay.
And I'm just looking to keep improving and, hopefully make a decision during the season or possibly before.
And the chance to play college football, how much of a blessing is that? Maybe a dream for you?
It's definitely a blessing. It's definitely a dream of mine and something I've been wanting to achieve for a while. And I'm just so glad to have the opportunity, and this coaching staff also excited about the opportunity to have such great guys around me and such great coaches that helped me get to that level and that coached me up, and they pushed me to get to that level, so it makes it a lot easier and a lot less stressful as a high school student.
Right. Coming back this way, Isaiah, you had a good season last year in Georgia. First season starting at the high school level, right?
Yes, sir.
people probably kind of unfamiliar as to what your game looks like.
Yeah.
Could you fill us in on what you feel like your strengths are and what you're going to bring to this team?
Yes, sir. I feel like one of my biggest strengths is that I'm a leader, and I feel like that's the most important thing when it comes to being on the football field and being a quarterback. But I feel like my mind and my decision making is also one of my biggest strengths, and I feel like it's what's going to lead us to a lot of success this year for sure.
I think in Savannah, you had close to a 60% completion rate, just 4 interceptions on the season. Do you avoid, those kind of risky plays? Is that something you're coached to do? Or I mean, how do you kind of explain a low turnover rate?
I mean, I feel like it's just nobody wants to throw interceptions, of course, and so
Yeah.
I feel like it's something I try to stay away from.
Who are some of those quarterbacks? Being a coach's kid, you've obviously had a lot of, mentors across your time. Who are some of those people from maybe BGA, Ensworth, and up until now that have helped you get to the level you're at?
One being Levi Moore. He was a quarterback at Ensworth. He's now at Wash U. He was Mr. Football finalist his junior year, and he was a big role model for me and somebody that I'm still in contact with now. But just seeing the way that he operates on the field and that practice just is somebody that I want to follow his footsteps in for sure.
When your dad was at BGA, Clay Beathard was a Mr. Football, I believe a Mr. Football award winner.
Yeah. Yes,
We talked a little bit beforehand. That's somebody you were really close with at a young age. What did you see from him at such a young age? And how did you kind of cling to that family?
Just like I was in like 4th grade when he was probably a senior, and just like he just connected with everybody really well. Like he would talk to all the kids in my grade, and it just made us feel like really welcome and stuff. And he was just a great person. So.
And the impact that he maybe had on you, can you kind of speak on that?
Yeah, just he had a great impact on me. Honestly, just how I should be as not just somebody on the field but off the field as well. And he was a great role model for sure.
Who are some of those other quarterbacks? You mentioned Levi and Clay. Anybody else come to your mind that you patterned your game after?
Another one from BGA, Nick Simptonfelter. He's at a Division III school in Ohio now. He went to Bucknell first and then transferred, but he's somebody that I train with his dad still, and so I talk to him a lot just about for advice and anything like that, and so he's been a great role model in my life since I was like in kindergarten, honestly.
Got Hudson Curley, Isaiah Batten, and Kyron Coleman here on Sumner County Media Days. Brought to you by Volunteer Fence, K1 Speed, the Farmers Bank, and Steve Schrum, Simply Home Real Estate. We're at Birdie Bros here in Hendersonville. Give you guys one more and then let you go. Is there, where's the excitement level at for you guys for this season? And I mean, where do you kind of see, are you guys close to the level that you want to be at for the first week? Kind of speak on that first week as a whole and your preparations for that.
I feel like the excitement level for our team right now is really high. I feel like the guys that have been in the program and even the new guys, we're all excited for the new change. We're excited to be headed in the new direction with our program, and of course with the new coaching staff we've been provided with. And I feel like everybody's just overall excited about the big opportunity we have to like go out there and compete each week. So I feel like everybody's just overall excited.
Isaiah.
I agree. We're very excited right now, and just we're in a great place right now, but we know that we can be even better, and once we get to week 1, we know for sure we will be better. So we're just very excited for that.
Hudson, close us out.
So as Isaiah said, we're not at the point where we want to be, obviously, but I think we're all out there ready to go out there and just have fun, but also start fast and just go out there and have a killer mentality.
You got an 8-man senior class here. You figured they'd be a little bit louder than that. Can I get a cheer? It's not easy to sit and talk with me for a minute. Guys, thank you so much for your time, and we're going to take another break here. When we come back, talking with JP2's new 2 coordinators, Jamal Stewart and Chad Broderick. You're watching Sumner County Football Media Days on Main Street Media Television.
The best indoor go-kart racing experience is here in Nashville, Tennessee. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is a world-class entertainment venue that is designed to help keep you entertained and engaged, whether you're on or off the track. If you want to experience indoor karting yourself, are interested in hosting a fun party for a friend or loved one, or would like to plan a corporate function, we'll be here to help. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is open 7 days a week. Visit k1speed.com/Nashville for more details. K1 Speed Nashville is located at 404 Davidson Street, Nashville, Tennessee. Call 615-242-3275 or visit k1speed.com/Nashville. K1 Speed Nashville, the best and fastest indoor go-kart racing in Nashville.
What do you look for when searching for a realtor? Experience? Steve Shrum with Simply Home has been a realtor in Sumner County for 30 years. Number of houses sold? Steve Shrum with Simply Home has sold over 1,000 homes. Leadership in the field? Steve Shrum with Simply Home, president of the Sumner Realtors in 2004 and 2018. Awards? Steve Shrum with Simply Home 2006-2016 Realtor of the Year for Sumner Realtors. What do the clients say? Steve Shrum with Simply Home is knowledgeable, professional, and kind with a super work ethic. Steve Shrum with Simply Home sells 99% of his homes quickly and for top dollar, and communicates from the beginning to the end of the process. Your homework is now done. Steve Shrum with Simply Home is the realtor for the job. Call Steve Shrum with Simply Home today at 615-473-6633. Visit Steve at steveshrum.com or stop by and say hello at 118 Saundersville Road, Suite 150, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075.
Volunteer Fence is your one-stop shop for all your fencing needs. If you need assistance with residential, commercial, gates, and handrails, trust the company with over 45 years of fencing experience, Volunteer Fence, located in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Volunteer Fence services customers in Middle Tennessee, including Hendersonville, Gallatin, Lebanon, White House, Smyrna, Nashville, Springfield, Brentwood, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, and the surrounding areas. Call Volunteer Fence at 615-822-6530 for a free estimate or visit www.volunteerfencellc.com.
At the Farmers Bank, nothing means more to us than helping our customers grow. We take pride in supporting our neighbors, creating customized solutions, and building strong communities, one relationship at a time. It's simple. We're just local people making local decisions. We're as community gets. We'd love to be part of your success. Visit any of our non-Middle Tennessee locations or visit us online to get started. The Farmers Bank, improving lives in the markets we serve.
JPII Sumner County Football Media Days segment continues. He's offensive coordinator Jamal Stewart. He's defensive coordinator Chad Broderick. Sumner County Sports Editor Blaine Kellar. So glad to be continuing our segment here at Birdie Bros, and glad to be talking to two former head coaches that have now come on to this staff. Coach Roc Batten's first staff at JPII. Let's start with that. Coach Broderick, I know you were defensive coordinator at Father Ryan, but previously served as head coach in a couple of roles, East Robertson and White House Heritage. Coach Stewart, you were the head coach at Centennial, and before that, East Nashville. What led to your decisions to want to come on to Coach Batten's staff?
Well, for me, it was just, I was ready for a change. You know, he's a good friend of mine, and we really enjoyed working together in the All-Star game, the East-West All-Star game. We had a lot of fun. We built a good relationship, but we've always scrimmaged or did a 7-on-7 in my 10 years as a head coach. So we've always had a good relationship. And then, I think I wanted to change, and then he had reached out to me, and some changes were going to occur either way, and he presented this opportunity, and I was excited about it, and talked to my fiance about it and my family, and, I said, man, I think this is something that can be a positive thing for both of us. So I hit the ground running, and I've been excited ever since.
Yeah, taking that step back a lot of times provides more of an opportunity to lighten the load of yourself and your family and things like that. Does it also lighten maybe what Coach Batten jumps into at JPII?
Well, yeah, I mean, because when you got multiple head coaches on your staff, you already know what to expect as a head coach, so you know how you can help them a little bit more and how to take things off their plate. At the end of the day, things have to get done, so there's nothing beneath me or Coach Broderick, so we take out trash, we wash jerseys, and nothing is beneath us because it has to be done for our program. And we know from previous 10 years as a head coach, it was things that we had to do already. So anything that's beneficial or we can help, we just step up and do it because, like I said, it's a necessity, it's a need that we have to get done. So it's kind of fun when you can just intertwine all these head coach personalities and head coach thoughts and, you know, skills and any kind of like philosophies. So you get a three-headed monster with our staff, and we're always working together to get better.
Coach Broderick, would you mind adding on to that, and maybe the way that you and Coach Batten can intertwine as two really defensive coaches?
Yeah, I got to know Roc a few years ago and had a lot of respect for him, and so when Coach Rector retired at Father Ryan, and all this happened at JPII, it just made a lot of sense. And so I was excited to get to work with Roc and you know, be closer to home and at a school I respect and with Jamal, and so a great staff, and so it's been really good. And so defensively so far it's been great, everybody working together. The kids are learning, and from where we were, which is everybody, in the spring, you know, till now, I've been really proud of our growth, and that's a credit to the kids and all the coaches, and so it's been great. I've had a blast. Like you said, at practice over, we're up there all day, you know, with each other, us three, and doing laundry and getting the film done, and so it's been a blast. And it's been just a joy to work with the kids and Roc more and Jamal, so it's been great.
And similar to Coach Batten, you have experience at this level.
Yeah.
You know, you said assisting at Father Ryan and knowing the Division II game. What kind of benefit is that compared to, you know, not maybe the public school realm jumping into private schools? Is there that big of a jump?
The one thing I noticed just the last 2 years is like, it's not, I don't know how to explain it, but like the kids are going to do their job. So like both teams, like whatever the job is, you know, on the call, the kids are normally going to try to execute pretty high. I mean, last year we lost to Brentwood Academy, McCauley, and Innsworth, and it's like, you feel like we got everything we could out of the team, but that's, so like there's no Friday nights that are easy. You know, every team's really good, every team's well coached, all the kids are really intelligent and play hard, and so it's a fun league to be in, and so I'm excited to still be in it, but every week's a challenge because of that.
Coach Rector, a legend at Father Ryan, finally now at Centennial. Interesting how that all kind of came about, but could you reflect on getting to work under him these last couple of years? And
so Coach Rector was great. He's a leader of men. That's the first thing. So, like, you know where you stand with Coach Rector. If you're not working hard, you're going to get called out pretty quick. And so that challenges the staff. And so he was just a leader of men. He got everything to me out of the kids that could be got out of them, as well as the coaches. And so I couldn't have any more respect for anybody than I have for Coach Rector. I hope you don't see this. But I just respect the man so much. And so it was fun to coach. I remember getting to know him and going over the defense, and he would like always challenge me, why do you want to do this? So I'd have to explain why, like for every call, why. And so if I couldn't explain it good enough, he'd just tell me to shut it down. And so, but man, he was awesome to work for. I enjoyed it every day, and I really felt like he got the most out of the kids, but also I think what gets lost in that sometimes, he got the most out of the coaches, and I respected that as much as anything.
Jamal, on the other side of that, what's it been like making that jump from the public school sector to coaching an offense in Division II?
I mean, it's the game of football. It's just different obstacles. You know what I mean? So going from Metro to Williamson County, it was a different. It's a lot more of effort put in. You know, on other aspects, especially resources. Resources have been big, but leaving from there and coming to the private school sector, it's been very beneficial. Kids are kids. You know, kids want to be loved. Kids want to be coached hard at the end of the day, and that's kind of the focus point of it. But like, ever since the transition, these guys are hungry. They just want to be pushed as far as they can be. They want to be successful. They want to be good. They want to be great on Friday night. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they just want to be challenged, and they've been accepting our challenges lately, and just building just character and a good culture of just a different mindset of what we want to get done here. And so the kids are kind of locked in, but the biggest thing is that I really enjoyed so far is the brotherhood. The brotherhood, everyone gets along in the locker room. There's not like groups of pods of guys from different classes. Everyone gets along. After practice, they go eat together, and they're ice bathing, like, you know, in the same vicinity. So it doesn't matter if you're a sophomore or a senior. At the end of the day, you're building a relationship, you know, and you know that starts from the top, you know. And he set that culture for us. Coach set that culture for us, but the kids have like really fed off of that, and then it's been spreading through our whole program right now.
You guys had a chance to 7-on-7 today, and are starting in that pre-pad work. How much do you get from the defensive side of things? And on the other side, Coach, what have you seen that you've liked so far out of this new offense?
Yeah, so defensively, I'm like one of the few guys, maybe all of them do. I enjoy 7-on-7 because there's going to come a time pretty soon where we put pads on, and you're going to get a lot of inside run work, and and pass rush work. So you kind of lose some of that sometimes. So I think it's important to do the 7-on-7 stuff. So our communication's gotten better. We had a good day today, I thought, in terms of trying to do our jobs. And so I think 7-on-7 is important because you're going to get that stuff in the season. And kind of as you put pads on, you kind of focus on run fits a lot more and things like that. And so it was good. Today was good. I was proud of our kids. They competed. They were excited to be out there. And so that's all you can ask for right now.
Coach Stewart.
For 7-on-7, like you said, I love it. I love it. It's a chance to compete. It's a chance to talk, have communication, and get to know your guys. And so today we competed against Kirkwood. We also competed against Riverdale, and those are two pretty good teams. It's probably going to go far in the playoffs. And we did a really good job today. I was very proud of my guys. Like I said, the heat was turned up a little bit, but they made plays and picked each other up. And the thing that we talk about is play the next play because good, bad, or indifferent. At the end of the day, we got to play the next play and find a way to pick your brother up. So offensively, I was really pleased with what I saw today. We stretched the field pretty well today, and we made some plays in certain situations.
What have you seen out of Isaiah and the skilled position players around him?
He's just a natural leader. The guys respect him and they trust him at the end of the day. Even when he's not in, he's taking mental reps. He's always asking me questions, sending me text messages about this and that. And he's also always coaching. If he's not in, he's coaching. So, we can have a center snapping the ball or a younger guy snapping the ball in 7-on-7. He snaps the ball and he talks to our younger quarterbacks, freshman quarterbacks, and hey, pre-snap is this, post-snap is this is your read. So he's always helping. He's our coach on the field right now, and he's doing a good job of helping us develop.
Talking with Coach Jamal Stewart and Coach Chad Broderick for Sumner County Media Days for JPII. Coach, funny enough, a couple of years ago we were in the same county. I was Robertson County sports reporter while you were head coach at White House Heritage. How much, I don't want to say more comfortable, but kind of in your element are you as a defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy my life more. That's just my personality, maybe. I feel like sometimes as a head coach, like you just take all the, the weight on your shoulders, and you take everything really hard, and you miss a lot of your kids' stuff, and it was a tough year that year too. We had a lot of injuries. Our best player and best kid, best leader, Colby Pulsey, you remember the name?
Yeah.
Got hurt like the third play of the season, and it wore on everybody, I think. So. Not that the same kind of stuff happens as a defense coordinator, but it's just more fun. Like, you do the fun stuff, and so, I definitely enjoy that more, for sure. But, yeah, the kids at Heritage were great. They, battled all year, but just my personality, I think I wear stuff too much, and so sometimes that's a little bit easier as a defense coordinator as opposed to being in that role.
Yeah. Help us out here. Both of you guys can just run us through what a Chad Broderick defense might look like with Roc Batten influences, and what a Jamal Stewart offense is going to look like at JP2.
Okay, for us, we're gonna be a power team that stretches the field. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you can have the great athletes, great quarterback, but your O-line is what takes you there, and that's what we're going to lean on. We're trying to run the ball, be physical. All we ask for is 3 yards. But at the end of the day, we got some guys that can stretch the field, and we got a quarterback that can make the right throws. So we're going to be efficient, and we're going to take what they give us. We're not going to just have a system and just, hey, this is what we're going to do no matter what. Hey, at the end of the day, we're going to break down the film, and we're going to try to get 3 yards every play. If we get more than that, we're happy. But, hey, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. We might go for it on fourth down for one. so we just
that's when you get 12.
Yeah. So we just want to base it off that. You know what I'm saying? Like take what they give us. Quick game, power spread team, and that's kind of how we are.
Do you have a running back room, an inexperienced bunch as a whole? Do you have a running back room and an offensive line unit that can complement and play that way?
So that's the thing. We're going to be pretty young, but they're working right now on the offensive line. Got some young guys, so it's a picture for a bright future. At the end of the day, we're going to take your lumps and bruises, but my job as a coordinator and our job as a staff is to help them. So we make our adjustments to basically protect them as well, but also at the end of the day, we got to have some kind of identity. If you're physical, football's a physical sport, it's the mindset, hey, we're going to put them in tough situations. Coach Broderick's going to be modest about this, and he's not going to say it, but he's probably one of the best D coordinators I've ever worked against. And we've just been practicing against each other, and we scheduled them, and I hated scrimmaging them, and I scheduled it, but so he does some good things and he puts you in a good situation. So practice has been very, very beneficial for us because we're getting multiple looks every day. So we're harping on, hey, what is your rules? Stay with your rules within your rules, because like I said, we get multiple different looks. We're not been playing a base base defense. So we're trying to get better on both sides of the ball. So at the end of the day, we're going to coach those guys up and put us in the best situation to win. But our identity, we want to be a physical downhill running team that RPOs and stretch the field when we can.
Coach Broderick, I think Coach Stewart kind of let us in on the sauce that you've got here as well. Multiple kind of set. I think Coach Batten's talked about bringing a lot of exotic pressure too, right?
Yeah, so, we want to play hard and all that stuff. Really, I'm still learning who we're going to be in a lot of ways. Kind of who our kids are, and you watch them every day, and we're getting good at this stuff. And so, like, who we were at Father Ryan last year, I don't think is who we're going to be at JPII this year, just because our kids are a little bit different, obviously. And so we're trying to install a bunch of stuff right now, and we want to build a big toolbox. But I think the toolbox is going to be different than it was at JPII, just for right now, for where I'm at. But yeah, we want to be good on third down. I think on third down, you got to be able to play tight coverage and attack protections, and so we're going to make sure we can do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm still learning who we're going to be. But in general, we're an odd space team, and that doesn't mean we're lining up in odd necessarily, and want to have the ability to play tight coverage at times. And so, I don't know. I'm still learning who we're going to be quite honest. So I'll be interested to see what it looks like here in a couple weeks. But I don't think the weird thing is I really loved what we did at Ryan, and just what our kids are right now. I think it's going to be a little bit different here, which I'm excited about as well.
How important is Kyron Coleman going to kind of be for whatever front you're in?
Yeah, he's the leader. What I respect about Kyron is he is vocal. He's a vocal leader for us, but man, every day that I've been there, I don't know how many days I've been there so far, but he works hard every day. He's the same kid every day. He's got a great attitude every day. It's yes sir, no sir, and it's wanting to learn, and if you don't understand, he asks questions. And so I can't say enough good things about him, and really all of our kids, but you asked about him, and so he's a leader in every way. So he's going to lead by example. He's going to lead with a positive attitude, and he's going to lead vocally when he needs to. So super proud of him.
Jarius Jones, another guy on that defensive line who has a lot of experience.
The first two guys I noticed in the weight room, they're the same every day. They work hard, and Jarius is the leader up front for sure. And he's had a great, early summer and all that stuff, and he's done a great job in the weight room. And both of them are the same. They got a positive attitude every day, and whatever they're doing, they're going to give you all they got.
When you and Coach Batten went up against each other, while you were defensive coordinator at Father Ryan and Batten was still coaching at Ensworth, was there kind of a mutual respect there, an
admiration?
Was on my
end. I hope there was. It was on my end, yeah. So definitely was on my end. And, yeah, it was a good game that year. I think it was 17-14. Ensworth beat us. So it was a good game, and I enjoyed it. But, yeah, I think so, for sure.
Over time, how have you admired kind of what he's been able to do defensively?
If you just talk about, like, Nashville football, a lot of people are going to talk about, Coach Roc Batten. And so I always knew who he was and then got to know him a few years ago. And so I guess what I really respect now is he's just a great guy. Honestly, he's a great guy. He's a great coach. He's a super good guy. The kids love him and want to play for him and respect him. And so I've appreciated that. He's just a great guy to be around. I think he cares about people. And so it's been a lot of fun so far.
Coach Stewart, coming back to you here, wanted to ask about one thing Hudson Curley said on our last segment, is that it's not necessarily about the routes as a receiver in this offense. It's about the concept as a whole in the offense. Can you kind of elaborate on what that means?
So basically what it is we do a lot of choice routes. You know what I'm saying? So we have level routes. When I say, hey, if we're going to play under the deck, meaning this is quick game, if we want to play drop back, which is the middle of the field, we play full field coverage, which we use the whole field. So basically at the end of the day, we have a lot of choice routes. So I trust the guys, and we work hard at this, to, hey, you have the choice to pick your route to get yourself open. You know what I mean? So we have some base concepts, that's generic across the board, but then we have some things that, hey, we see this coverage, these are two options. So these are the 2 or 3 options that you have. You choose. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not open, you chose the wrong route. At the end of the day. But really what it is, though, instead of having, hey, we like this concept, we like this concept, we like this concept. But I had to teach 3 different concepts. Well, we just call it option route. You choose the right option for this concept. So we do many versions of that. And so I told them at the end of the day, if you focus up and you read the defense the right way, the quarterback is relying on you to get here. So he knows you have options. So you have to choose the best option to get yourself open. And we did a really good job today with that. So like I said, we have generics, and like I said, we have things that stretch the field. But we also have option routes that hey, we work so hard on timing, which is why 7-7 is important for us. You have the choice of, hey, I felt like this was open. And our quarterback does a good job of making adjustments.
Giving a lot of freedom, it sounds like, to the quarterback and to the receivers to play that way. Is that something you did at Centennial and East Nashville?
So I actually learned it a little bit in some coaches' clinics. I started to do it. East Nashville, I did not do it as much. Yeah. You know, we were pretty big up front. We ran the ball probably 80% of the game. But at Centennial, I kind of learned it with my previous staff, and we did some of it as well. But these guys are we're way ahead of when my first year at Centennial. So, you know, these guys stress the playbook and they ask questions and things like that. And then when you have a quarterback that demands this from the guys and he sets the bar for us, so the guys respond well. You know what I'm saying? But the organizational situation for us at Pope is different too. Like, we're very organized as far as how we present stuff. You know, we walk it, chalk it, talk it, you know, and then we run it, you know, at the end of the day. So we're doing a lot of meetings. We're doing pre-meetings, pre-practice meetings, team meetings, offensive meetings, and at the end of the day, we mesh well together. So when coach is teaching something on defense, I'm teaching the same thing on offense of how, hey, this will have to be our adjustment. So at the end of the day, everyone's getting coached up. But like I said, we do a lot of choice routes, option routes, and situational routes to where we understand, hey, these are the options. We're trusting you to get there to make the right decision.
Hudson Curley's one of those guys in that receiver room, and I talked with Coach Batten about transfers a little bit ago. C.J. Turner out of Harpeth, another guy who had a good year as a receiver on the outside for that team. Is he one of those guys in that room as well?
Man, the crazy thing about it is we have a huge room right now. And the thing about it is this team is selfless, you know what I mean? So we're rotating, and the best man's going to win. Some days you're hot, some days you're not, you know. So you might not catch the ball, get the ball, but you're still at the end of the day you may be blocking well, you know. So you got to find your niche of, hey, how can I help this team on Friday night at the end of the day? So we have a gang of guys right now that's really working. Even the younger guys, you know, we got some freshmen that even came in that are working hard, learning our system, and even competing today. So I mean, yeah. So you have CJ and you have Huddy, who's doing a great job being the leader. You know, ups and downs. At the end of the day, they pick each other up, and then it's always the next man up.
Coach Broderick, a couple of guys, new faces, wanted to ask you about. Richard Thigpen will be playing tight end for you guys, but also will be, I think, on the defensive side. And then Sam Bowers, another one of those Answorth transfers that came over. Talk about maybe those guys in particular, how they might kind of factor in, and then some other defensive guys that have maybe impressed you to this point.
Yeah, both those guys are selfless, and so they're getting reps, and they're intelligent kids, and so they've done a great job. So they've been a joy to coach. But yeah, there's been a lot of young kids that are playing right now, and so a guy that I always forget he's a sophomore. I think when you come in somewhere new, you kind of just think they're all the same age. But you know, Reese has done a great job in the secondary, and Josh Baker, both at safety, learning stuff and playing well, and so I've been really proud of them. So they've all just done a good job. I don't know who all and all the names and who you want me to talk about, but I've been proud of all of them. And so what I always forget is our team is young, and so you know, Reese carries himself like a senior, and sometimes I'll be hard on him and then forget that's just a sophomore. He's learned a lot of football in the last couple of months, and so I'm just proud of their learning. And I just want them to keep learning every day. You know, be better tomorrow than you were, you know, yesterday, and that's what they've done so far. So I'm proud of that.
Reese Reynolds was somebody that I did want to talk about a little bit. This was a guy who played quarterback last year, and now you've mentioned he made the move to safety.
Yeah, he's doing great. I mean, honestly, he's in the back end. He's kind of controlling things, and so that's impressive as a sophomore to know where the coverage is rotating or not rotating, or what the coverage is to your side or whatever. And so I've been super proud of him. Like, as a leader, as a sophomore, to step up and do that is not normal. And so he's done a great job of that.
That quarterbacking that maybe he had been doing, that plays into it?
Yeah, it may. It may. I don't know. But he's done a good job. So.
Yeah, Chad Broderick, Jamal Stewart, thank you guys so much for taking some time to talk about JP2 football. We're going to take one final break here on Sumner County Media Days. And when we come back, JP2 girls soccer coach Zach Trobaugh joins us. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on Sumner County Media Days.
What do you look for when searching for a realtor? Experience? Steve Schrum with Simply Home has been a realtor in Sumner County for 30 years. Number of houses sold? Steve Schrum with Simply Home has sold over 1,000 homes. Leadership in the field? Steve Schrum with Simply Home, president of the Sumner Realtors in 2004 and 2018. Awards? Steve Schrum with Simply Home 2006-2016 Realtor of the Year for Sumner Realtors. What do the clients say? Steve Schrum with Simply Home is knowledgeable, professional, and kind with a super work ethic. Steve Schrum with Simply Home sells 99% of his homes quickly and for top dollar, and communicates from the beginning to the end of the process. Your homework is now done. Steve Schrum with Simply Home is the realtor for the job. Call Steve Schrum with Simply Home today at 615-473-6633. Visit Steve at steveschrum.com or stop by and say hello at 118 Saundersville Road, Suite 150, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075.
Volunteer Fence is your one-stop shop for all your fencing needs. If you need assistance with residential, commercial, gates, and handrails, trust the company with over 45 years of fencing experience, Volunteer Fence. Located in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Volunteer Fence services customers in Middle Tennessee, including Hendersonville, Gallatin, Lebanon, White House, Smyrna, Nashville, Springfield, Brentwood, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, and the surrounding areas. Call Volunteer Fence at 615-822-6530 for a free estimate or visit www.volunteerfencellc.com.
At the Farmers Bank, nothing means more to us than helping our customers grow. We take pride in supporting our neighbors, creating customized solutions, and building strong communities, one relationship at a time. It's simple. We're just local people making local decisions. We're as community gets. We'd love to be part of your success. Visit any of our non-Middle Tennessee locations or visit us online to get started. The Farmers Bank, improving lives in the markets we serve.
The best indoor go-kart racing experience is here in Nashville, Tennessee. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is a world-class entertainment venue that is designed to help keep you entertained and engaged whether you're on or off the track. If you want to experience indoor karting yourself, are interested in hosting a fun party for a friend or loved one, or would like to plan a corporate function, we'll be here to help. K1 Speed Nashville by Will Power is open 7 days a week. Visit k1speed.com/Nashville for more details. K1 Speed Nashville is located at 404 Davidson Street, Nashville, Tennessee. Call 615-242-3275 or visit k1speed.com/Nashville. K1 Speed Nashville, the best and fastest indoor go-kart racing in Nashville.
Our last guest for the JPII section of Sumner County Media Days is boys and girls soccer coach Zach Trobaugh. We are here at Birdie Bros in Hendersonville for Sumner County Media Days, brought to you by Volunteer Fence, K1 Speed, the Farmers Bank, and Steve Schrum Simply Home Real Estate. Coach Trobaugh, thank you for joining us. And as I talked with Station Camp's coach Jeremy Cook and Liberty Creek's coach Andrew Fish, you guys all are kind of in this same boat where it's a year-long thing for you. Soccer is being the boys and girls coach of your school.
Yeah, it's a year-long thing, and it's, I'm sure for them, just like for me, it's something we really enjoy doing, and it keeps us busy, but it's worth it, and we love it. So
reflect a little bit on that girls soccer season that now you get to follow up just in a few months, and then in the spring as well. Just what was your assessment of the soccer year as a whole at JPII?
So this past year, it was a year of ups and downs for both teams. On the girls' side, we had 4 seniors. We had just graduated Katie Shea. So obviously, graduating probably the best player to ever come through Tennessee,
Sure.
and just the adjustment that takes place, when you don't have her. It took a little bit of time to get going, but the team played really well. At the end of the day, we didn't have the season at the end that we had wanted, but that's just part of the process. And we are great. We did graduate, like I said, Ansley Rice, who plays now for Western Kentucky at the Division I level, and 3 other seniors that were fantastic players that worked really hard for us over the 4 years. So going into this year, it's going to be sort of a similar process, graduating a big-time player, and then just seeing how the team adjusts from there, and making the most out of it. So on the boys' side, we're a young team on the boys' side. Had a pretty successful season. But again, ultimately didn't finish how we wanted to in terms of going to the state tournament and stuff like that. But, it's a young team that we're going to build on, that we're really excited about and looking forward to this coming year.
That middle region you play in specifically for the spring season, is absolutely brutal.
It is.
Having to go through a well-coached Father Ryan team, CPA, which seemed to start its season on fire, then turn things around late, Ensworth with the Gatorade Player of the Year, and not to mention the state champs in NBA.
Yep.
It felt like there probably wasn't a night off for you as a coach once you got to region play.
It's not. Our region is, it's crazy. It's so difficult. Every game, every opponent is someone that can beat you on any given night. And I think the thing that amplifies it a little bit these past 4 years is that in our region, there was no region tournament postseason play.
Yeah.
So it was the top 4 teams out of the region would go to, the state playoffs. That's changing this coming year to where both on the men and women's side we're having a region tournament. So looking forward to that a little bit. But yeah, like you said, it's a crazy schedule where every game is just you're going up against either the best player in the state or the best team in the state, and just doing your best to be competitive, give the players the best chance to excel, and hopefully take the season as long as we can.
Is that a change you welcome, having a region tournament instead of maybe just hoping that the regular season falls the way that it should?
Definitely. I think, they both have their ups and downs, right? Their positives and negatives. I think having a region tournament though gives you the opportunity if you're missing a player, if a player's sick, if a player's injured, gives a little bit of an opportunity for a player to come back or something like that to just change. To where hopefully you have everything clicking at the end of the season, to where you can really make a run of it. When you don't have a postseason play or guaranteed postseason play, every game is just so crucial. One player being out could cost you one decision in a game could cost your team a postseason. And it'll be nice to kind of have the other side of that after 4 years of of being in that situation where just every game was kind of a do or die moment.
Sure. Talked about the talent that JP2 girls soccer has had come through recently. Ansley Rice, as Coach Trobaugh mentioned, Western Kentucky signee a year ago. And during that same season, Katie Shea Collins was introducing herself to the SEC.
Yep.
Incredible first year for her at that level. I'm sure that didn't surprise you at all, though.
No, she's a once-in-a-lifetime player. I mean, like I told you before, I think she's probably the best player to ever come through Tennessee at the high school level. She's that good. It didn't surprise me one bit to see her doing really well at South Carolina, and so happy for her. She's a great kid. She's worked extremely hard ever since I've known her. She's always just taken the extra step to try to put herself in the position she's in, and just awesome to see her continuing to do well.
And what was really cool was to see her play on a level, or don't want to say above that, but kind of in this tournament format, the soccer tournament, which happened. Did that happen over the summer?
Yeah, it was the summer. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope Solo's team. She ended up playing for it and had a good run there. Scored I know she scored at least one goal.
Yeah, she was,
probably more than that. It was cool to see her get that recognition, not only in the conference level at the SEC, but on a national stage to see that kind of highlighted.
Yeah, and it's having the chance to play with Hope Solo for her. That's somebody obviously growing up playing youth soccer as a female, seeing Hope Solo. That's an icon for her, right? Yeah. Somebody that she's always looked to. So having the chance to be on Hope Solo's team, she loved it. She was doing great. Again, just awesome to see her getting those opportunities, and I don't think that's the last we're going to see of her. To be honest, I think she'll keep taking it to the next step and the next level, and I couldn't be more proud of her.
Katie Shea, of course, at South Carolina right now, and set records all across her career as a JP2 soccer player. I remember a couple years ago, her senior season, you and I talked a little bit about how your connection goes back quite a while together, yeah?
Yeah, I started coaching Katie when she was 10 years old.
Wow.
So I had the opportunity to coach her for 8 years, from 10 to 18. The first 4 years at the club level, and then in high school, from her freshman to her senior year, and it was awesome. It was a joy to be around somebody like that. She's as good of a player as she is. She's an even better person. So, love seeing her get the recognition she deserves.
At what point did you realize how special she could be as a player?
Really straight away. Honestly, I know that sounds crazy, but you just see the work ethic in her, and then you obviously see the physical talents that she has, the speed and quickness. But just seeing the way she approached the game and how she was always trying to improve, it was, right away you could tell, hey, this player has something just a little bit different that's going to make her special. And, I'm so happy for her. It's one thing to have a player of that ability. It's another thing to have a player of that ability that actually sees it out and follows through with it.
That's where I was going to go with that, was that there was probably a point where Katie Shea was head and shoulders above anybody she faced, and she still took it to that next level years and years later.
Yep, just the work ethic. There are a lot of players that have special gifts athletically. She took it to the next level because she every day just approached it like, hey, I want to do this, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. So it was awesome to see.
Coach, talk to us a little bit about your schedule and your roster coming up for this girls soccer season.
Yeah, excited. We've got, another great schedule. We always try to pack our non-region games with the toughest competition we can, just because Division II Middle Region is so strong. We want to have good tests before we go into the Middle Region. We're going to Gatlinburg again as a team for the Smoky Mountain Cup, so looking forward to that, just as a team bonding experience and just as a growth opportunity. And then this year we have 3 seniors in particular that are going to be great for us. Maya Palsgrove as a goalkeeper, Trevi Ferranti, who's played for us on the varsity level since 8th grade. She'll fill into the back line. And then Lauren Gaffney will be one of our most prominent attackers as a senior. So we're looking forward to a great season for those seniors to hopefully finish out and make a deep run.
Talking about that schedule, one of the best games that I see on the schedule year in and year out that you guys put on is against Merrill High.
Yep.
That's a fun intra-county game that you get to have. Is that on the schedule this year?
It is.
You have any other in-county opponents you're going up against?
It is. Right now, Merrill Hyde's the only in-county opponent that we have. They are. We're very thankful that they'll play us each year. They're a great team. Great competition, and they always do really well in terms of how far they go throughout the season, so we're looking forward to playing them again this season too.
Jason Bentley, somebody we'll have on Sumner County Media Days tomorrow. What kind of challenge does his group bring to you, and is there something you look for specifically when laying out your schedule that can maybe strengthen some weaknesses that you guys might have?
Yeah, I mean he's just got for Merrill Hyde. I mean he's got a great team, a lot of club players who play year round. They're just strong, and they play. I think just like us, he tries to really put the hardest teams he can in the non-district and region games so that he's ready when it comes to that district and region and state tournament time. So it's just awesome to have the opportunity to play somebody close to home who's going to give us a great game and be very competitive.
Coach Zach Trobaugh closing out our JP2 section of Sumner County Media Days. Coach Trobaugh, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in, checking in on the nights for fall sports, for athletics as a whole, and for football. We'll take another break, and when we come back, kick off our Gallatin section of Sumner County Media Days, brought to you by Birdie Bros and our 4 great sponsors. Thanks for watching.